no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games we play, can't take it personal.
Cause the devil is a lie. Eh. I'm telling you the truth. Eh. It's all in what you do. Hey. Some things you gotta do. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come holler at your boy. 9 p.m. here in the barbershop, man. Tomorrow we got Tamara Payne, a biographer of Malcolm X. All first person interviews, man. Spectacular. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tuesday, Jason Whitlock, and Wednesday, Bob Arum, man. We in the son of a gun. So, anyways, man, let's jump into this whole, man. I'm just gonna double back from what, and I'm gonna consistently speak upon this, okay? Because I think that Errol Spence is 30, Terence Crawford is 33. They're right at the borderline, especially Terence Crawford, of being in your prime. I don't care if you don't drink, don't smoke. You know what I mean? I'm a 43-year-old man, and I understand the realities of Father Time. All right, and it's just the truth, man. So, with that being said, the Super Bowl is on CBS. I Googled it yesterday. I did a video. I thought it was on Fox. You know, I didn't know that they alternate from CBS to, I said NBC. Do NBC still play football? CBS to Fox. So it's on CBS this year. And Showtime is a subsidy of Viacom CBS. So with that being said, will Steven Espinoza put in a bid for the Super Bowl? For the Crawford Spence fight. Now, here's where it gets kind of convoluted, right? As you can see by how they're doing the fights, Al Haymon values the Fox contract more than he values the Showtime contract. And how do I know that? Because all the big fights goes to Fox. Now, will he allow Steven Espinoza to come in and buy that fight? If Steven Espinoza won, this is just a hypothetical, but this is a realistic option. You understand? Because if that's the case, then it has a chance to be a mega fight. Off the backs of the Super Bowl, it's 3 weeks after the Super Bowl. You got the Pro Bowl. You send Errol Spence and Terence Crawford down to the Pro Bowl. You send them to the Super Bowl. You send them. If I think Terence Crawford is a Green Bay fan, you send him to the Green Bay playoff game. I'm not sure if they made the playoffs or not. You know, he goes and plays catch with Aaron Rodgers for a promo. Errol Spence is a Cowboys fan. I don't know if are they? No, they definitely are. They eligible to make the playoffs? I don't know, but if they are, if they not, you know what I mean? You send them to their playoff game. It's so many different avenues that you can go, you know what I mean? Being that if they make the Super Bowl and shit like that. So I think that this is the smartest time. When I say the smartest time to do it, because you're going to get $1 billion worth of free press. And it's all, man, you got a chance. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. Errol Spence, everyone loves your story. We've all shed a few tears in the barbershop. We all prayed for you, especially Pastor Usher Deacon 305. You know what I mean? He is the president of our prayer department in the barbershop. You know what I mean? And we all prayed for you and loved you and cared for you. But I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. And someone very important told me this, but fighters don't understand. People don't know your story if you're not fighting. And everything is a subsidy from you fighting. And fighters don't grasp this or fully grasp or understand this. So what I would tell Errol Spence, you need to come right back into the ring. And people really need to hear this story again. You know what I mean? The story's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? To the point where you're the man. You know, you beat Terence Crawford on a worldwide scale, on a national scale. I have him beating the shit out of Terence Crawford. I have it as an easy fight. You know what I mean? Especially if he fights with the same discipline. He's only going to get better as he fought with Danny Garcia. But this is about the business of boxing. If Steven Espinoza and I don't know if Steven Espinoza, I'm gonna holler at Steven Espinoza. I'm gonna see if he'll come on. I'm gonna reach out to him because these are honest conversations that the boxing world will know. And I think I'm one of the few people in boxing that understands the business per se. You know what I mean? Because I failed at I know I brag about how successful I am, but before I got the property, I failed so many times. You know what I mean, at business, and that's how I learned to value money and understand contracts and understand everything. But now that I understand, I believe I'm only an expert on one thing, if as it pertains to capitalism, and that's property. You know what I mean? I'm an ambulance chaser in stocks, and I've done rather well at that. But you know what I mean? But just property. You know what I mean? Being able to assess and value and obviously purchase and develop properties. You know what I mean? Uh, and I think that Steven Espinoza can give us some insight moving forward. I don't know when the contract ends with PBC. I truly don't know that. And I don't know when the contract ends with Fox. I don't know if it was renewed or anything. Feel free to send me the articles, send it to my DM and articles if you know when it expires, anything like that. But these are important conversations to have because Steven Espinoza needs to make a splash coming into 2021. I think I think that Showtime is pedaling backwards at a rampant pace. You know, so I think that they really need to make a splash in 2021, and if they can, will Al Haymon allow them to bring that fight to Showtime? You know, it seems like they don't. The Charlos are over there, which is pretty dope. So that's like the Houston connection, and then if you want to make it even big, you have the Charlos fight for free on Showtime. The weekend after the Super Bowl. So you people connected to boxing. You have the Charlos fight in a card for free. You pay them pay-per-view money, I guess. I don't know. And you have them fight the week after the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And then so you get that content going, and then boom, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, March 9th. When's this? Let me check. Let me see. Wednesday. Let me check my phone. What date would be a good date for Errol Spence and um calendar? Let me go. Let's check right now. Let's go month. I don't know when the Super Bowl is, but it's always the second week in February, right? So the 14th, right? The 14th. So March 7th would be a great day. March 7th. And stop saying we is not enough time. Nigga, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder fought November 22nd, 23rd, and he was in the ring February 22nd, 23rd. Okay. So stop saying it's not enough time. Okay. It is enough time. March 7th, January 7th, February 7th. March 7th. That's close to 90 days. Errol Spence was running yesterday. Terence Crawford looked in phenomenal shape yesterday at the Shakur Stevenson bout. I saw it on Instagram. You know, these guys are elite athletes, man. You know what I mean? And for that amount of money, they will do it. So if you give Errol Spence a $15 million guarantee and Terence Crawford a $10 million guarantee, you know what I mean? They'll take the money. And boom, there we go. We're off to the races, man. And I think like that's the real deal of it. And I think for real, I'm gonna do a separate video on this. Errol Spence has the ingredients for America to fall in love with him. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I'm just being as genuine as possible, man. Car wreck, second chance, strong family background, Olympic pedigree. You know, I mean, just a storyline. Terence Crawford can be that as well, but he's a recluse. He doesn't do media. He's not socially active. Like he's not like that. But I think Errol Spence has those type of ingredients. You know, if Terence Crawford made himself available and was more popular, he too could be that if he won that fight. But I don't think he can be consistent at that just based off of his professional career. But y'all got options. Fox can buy it. And I think they can carry you to the NFC Championship game, or CBS, Viacom, Showtime can buy the fight. They'll put up $35 million for the fight and expect to get it back. I think they can get it back. I really think they can get it back if they do it off the backs of the Super Bowl. And I'm going to see if I can get Steven Espinoza in the barbershop. I'm really going to see if I can get him in for a long form interview so I can get you guys in here. And maybe you guys can ask, not maybe, y'all can ask them some questions and shit like that. But I think we really need to understand the business and the twerks of boxing because all we hear is nigga want to we gotta wait. We're tired of waiting, dog. UFC is taking over. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. If the best fought the best in boxing at least once a year, don't you know where boxing would be ahead of baseball? Boxing would literally be ahead of baseball if the best fought the best. Just being 100. And that's just the reality of it. So anyways, man, so that's where I'm at with this. I will Al Haymon allow Showtime to buy Errol Spence? Because I know he wants to push all that great content. I know Errol Spence is like the all-American guy over on PBC because of how they promoted him. You know, he fought right after the Olympian, fought right after the NBA basketball. I mean, the gold medal championship game. 6 million people watched him, and now they want him on a bigger platform. And I think if he fights a mandatory, he needs to fight that mandatory for free on Fox, so the world can hear that story. The world needs to hear the story. And if Fox doesn't pay for a docuseries, Errol Spence, you put up $100,000 and you tell the docuseries and put it on Barbershop Conversations. How about you do that? Matter of fact, Earl, if you do a docuseries, I'll put up 50% of the bill and we can put that on Barbershop Conversations. How about we do that? Deal? Deal? You know what I mean? Because the world really, 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 really needs to see that story and Errol Spence be the narrator. That will be so important. That will be so important. So from that perspective, I think that that would be dope. You understand? And then we can take that shit and win all these awards, man, from these film festivals and shit. Next thing you know, you get a motherfucking movie deal based off of your comeback. And you know, I mean, if they can do one on Hector Macho Camacho, they damn sure can do one on Errol Spence surviving that car wreck with just lacerations and missing teeth and sore muscles. Sheesh. You know, but anyways, man. So that's where I'm at. And the irony about this is not no irony. Team Crawford hates my guts. I mean, they hate me with a passion. I mean, when I say times 10, but I'm giving them the route to get the legacy and the generational wealth. They still, if they still gonna be on that dumb BS bullshit, then fuck it. You know, I mean, we tried. You know what I mean? And the clock, oh man, the clock is striking 12, man. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be a big fight regardless. But the money. So the question is, will Al Haymon give this fight or allow Steven Espinoza to buy the fight? You understand what I'm saying? It's a pretty funny situation because I know Al Haymon wants that Fox contract. You know, he really, really wants that Fox contract. He values it more than the Showtime contract. So we'll see. Chris Colbert is coming. Congratulations. You looked great last night, Chris Colbert. I thoroughly enjoyed watching you fight. I thoroughly enjoyed Shakur Stevenson. And guess what? They're in the same weight class. And guess what? They'll probably never fight each other. Barbers, that's the way boxing is, man. They probably never fight each other. Because you know what we gonna say as fans? Oh man, they're not ready yet. That's how we've been programmed. That the same programming in boxing fans is the same programming in blacks and Democrats. Oh man, we need to wait. Why do we need to wait 2 years? Why do we need to wait 3 years? Nah, let's get it now. Barbershop Conversations. They're already world champions. They already been world champions. We got to stop babying world champions. You know, they become $1 million fighters or $100,000 fighters when they become champions. But anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.